do like it. Condi played a fantastic game number 1. But we'll see what else is going to be taken away as well. Do they remove the Swain?
I don't think they give that one so freely over, or at least make sure that they have appropriate lane matchups to deal with it again. They had the Fizz, and Fizz can have some answers to Swain. Frandre, a very good Fizz player, but it was used as a flex pick. So again, just goes back to this idea that Team WE had a much stronger draft phase and execution than Snake.
Yeah, and this time around it is going to mean that Tank is going to have possibly his Lissandra available unless WE ban it away here. Or, of course, the Azir, which he has been seeing improved performances on.
Should be noted where Lissandra is a contested pick between these teams. Yes, Tank is a phenomenal Lissandra player, especially how he plays around a Fog of War, but 957 is also a big Lissandra player.
Yeah, very good on the
that's
champion.
why it hits the bench.
Yep, so that is going to go. Snake now looking to make that first choice. And we'll see where it is going to come from, whether SofM wants to go back to the Graves potentially, or whether they want to put priority on that Azir.
Karma is still up and available. We've seen her start to become the #1 priority pick for a lot of LPL teams. Wouldn't be surprised to see Snake hide their hand.
Oh, but Ryze got through. And that is going to be picked up.
This pretty much means that Karma almost has to be picked up in this rotation. You can't give Ryze and something to augment movement speed.
Yeah.
Sivir is still up, though.
They may just pick Sivir Karma here. I mean, that could make a bit of sense. Is Condi looking for the Graves? Still a lot of priority on it. Locked in on the Graves. And look, this Karma makes a heck of a lot of sense. And WE going to take that one away as well. So Martin could play the Sivir to augment the Ryze. We'll see, of course. Frandre could play it towards the top side, but Tank most likely going to be picking that one up in the mid lane. See what SofM wants to grab for his jungle, or what Snake actually want to take in this second round.
Azir is still open. He did not get through draft phase last game, so Tank still has that option if they want to use the Ryze as a flex, although Maokai is locked in. Pretty much guarantees where he's going.
Yeah. And the solo lane is already shown here for Snake, as well as that AD carry potentially for Martin if they do lock these away. Fairly telegraphed in the draft. We'll see whether WE will have a plan for it, or whether it's just going to be too strong out of Snake. We saw 957 play a fantastic Maokai in game number 1. We'll see what the answer is going to be for 957 this time.
I feel like Snake are almost kind of forced into this hand, though. So Maokai is a really good answer against Ryze, just because he does a lot of AoE damage, and Maokai is going to neutralize a lot of that with his ultimate.
Yep.
But the fact that Team WE have the Karma, it's almost the same concept of giving away a Sivir Maokai in terms of your engage potential of the Maokai Karma. So I feel like Snake are saying we can't give them this tool of hard engage alongside the Karma, as well as a way to neutralize our Ryze, which means that we're forced to show both our mid and top laner.
Well, the moment xiye looking at the Swain, could go to 957 if they want to. And Mystic thinking about taking away the Jhin for himself this time. Martin played it last time around. It was a similar lane, but he's going to have the Karma on his back as well. We'll see whether Mystic's going to have more success on the Jhin this time.
It could still be up to 957, though. See, again, the beauty of Team WE's comp is it still has a lot of flexibility in it.
Yeah.
They're hiding picks.
This is the first time Mystic's actually played Jhin as well. Martin trying it out for the first time last game, didn't find success. See whether Mystic's going to have a better debut with the champion this season. As SofM thinking about heading back to the Kindred.
For all we know, they could lock in a different support entirely, and that could be Karma mid and Swain top.
Yeah, exactly. Lots of flexibility here for WE.
Bard being hovered up right now. We've talked at length about how Bard is a counter to Jhin, or can be used as a counter to Jhin. Jhin sets up stationary in his channelable ultimate.
Yep.
Can very easily be cancelled with a nice timed Tempered Fate.
Well, Lee Sin is actually what's going to be locked in for SofM. Definitely a power pick. We'll see whether he's going to be able to make it work in the earlier stages of this game. So now WE thinking about what they want to take towards the top side of the map. Thinking about possibly answering Super Tank with Super Tank here as Nautilus is being looked at.
The poor man's Maokai is effectively what Nautilus has become.
And it's going to be locked in. So 957 possibly taking it to the top lane, although still I mean, the swap could come into the mid lane as well. Xiye was definitely a fan.
Not necessarily as vogue as it used to be. I assume that we'll see 957 on that. But again, very similar compositions. Bit more kill potential for Snake in their lanes because you have more hard CC as well as raw burst damage coming out of the Lee Sin.
Yep, although it does beg the question towards the top side of the map as far as setup for Condi is concerned. That dredge line plus all of the CC that Nautilus has is a big deal. But I'm just looking at the jungle because SofM wasn't as successful on the Graves. Now SofM with a lot more power in this Lee Sin pick. And a lot more flexibility as well. I mean, Safeguard gives him a lot of mobility around the jungle as well.
He's acting as a bridge for his team's late game. So you have Lee Sin, SofM needs to take control of this early game so he can hand over mid game to Martin, who can then hand the baton to Tank late game.
Yeah, not to mention Frandre getting massive on the Maokai. We'll see whether they can do it as we get into game number 2. Thank you very much, Frandre. And here we are, onto the rift for game number 2. Snake now on the blue side, seeing whether they can answer the pretty dominant WE victory in game number 1.
A lot more options from Snake's composition this time around about how they want to play their early game, particularly through SofM, now on this Lee Sin. Has plenty of kill pressure in the bottom as well as the top side. Good setup on the Maokai, twisted advance. Great, especially early level damage between Ezreal and Bard, even before the initial back for Ezreal. As another change-up of summoner spells, we see the Keystone Masteries, Key Mastery, is Deathfire Touch. Jhin is back for this game.
Yeah, Mystic deciding to go for that one. A little bit more late-game power. Of course, with all of his spells, especially the ultimate, just doing so much more damage. As now, you can see Snake setting up for something. It's Condi just being frustrating.
I'm going to say cheeky. Thing to watch, though, 957 typically on Nautilus, for whatever reason, is a big roamer.
Yeah.
Has a lot of reach and threat on lanes with his dredge line. So watch how he manipulates creep waves with his W push, and then, his Riptide push, and then quickly sneaks out of lane to affect possibly the mid lane.
You can see SofM actually starting on a buff here as well, so possibly looking to invade, steal away a red buff potentially. As Martin and Jiezou going to take down this Krug camp. And do so pretty easily there as well with the help of the Cosmic Binding.
Yeah, deciding that they don't want to challenge Jhin and Karma in a 1v1. Obviously, if they were to invade and got chased down, if Jhin got all 4 shots out, it'd be very hard to out-trade him. So instead, going and clearing their own camp.
Now Mystic does get a free reload there as well. So I believe was looking for a bouncing grenade onto Martin just there. Didn't quite find it. As Tank taking a Torment. Xiye looking very comfortable, of course, on this Swain one more time. We'll see whether he can do it into the Ryze, though. Can be a very difficult opponent. Martin burning there with the Deathfire Touch, but not doing too much damage here early on.
A lot of safety for Swain, though, in this mid lane. Just to zone off Ryze, or at least make him choose between trading health for CS every time he approaches something and throwing down the Q or the Torment. Decrepify.
Yeah. It's a fun-sounding move. That's one where Beatrice just zaps their face off, right?
Laserbird.
Yeah. Condi, though, continuing his assault on the jungle. SofM continuing to do the same thing. As you can see, both of them just clearing everything out. Nice ward comes down here, making sure SofM is known in his positioning. His tank is farming up very nicely. Xiye shoves this wave towards him.
But otherwise, a pretty standard start from both junglers, starting on the top side of the map. We'll see if anyone's going to go for the Rift Scuddler, if they're both going to back after completing the jungle. It actually looks like Condi, with the faster clear being the Graves versus Lee Sin, is going to go ahead and get the extra camp.
Yeah, and Mountain Drake is, of course, going to be the first dragon here as well, so pretty coveted as far as that one is concerned. We'll see who is going to be able to get some pressure around that area, as Martin is going to get his back stopped by Zero. There's Mystic and himself taking a bit of control of this wave.
I want to point out that SofM is moseying towards the top side. He does have 2 camps up there to take, as well as the Krug camp, which he likes to contest on enemies. But more importantly, if he wants to look for the gank, 957 is fairly extended forward.
Actually decides to recognize that. Spidey senses were tingling, decides that he wants to head back to base. We'll see whether he expends the teleport in order to get back into that lane, or whether he just wanders back, and it looks like just walking back up there is going to be his choice. Grabs another Doran's Ring, a Pink Ward, and some boots there for him. As really nice layering of CC here for WE's bottom lane, as Martin is pushed all the way out. This is a practice lane by the looks of things for WE.
It's nice that Karma helps augment Jin's lack of control over the creep wave. Yeah, he's got his Q, which can bounce along, but she's got far more consistent creep wave damage to help keep everything pushed in. Unfortunately, Ezreal also doesn't have a lot of tools to get out from underneath his tower once he's there. It's typically why you see Karma Ezreal being a very popular lane, as she helps alleviate a lot of that.
Yeah. As you can see, SofM now.
He can't help himself. He always has to go for the invade and contest creeps.
Well, Laserberg comes out. Tank once again, pressured away from his creeps.
Look at this. So SofM is invading and denying the wolf camp, but Condi actually was sitting in Fog of War on mid lane because he expected SofM to gank the overextended xiye. So Team WE trying to play very defensive and cover the fact that Swain, to utilize his kit to its full extent, has to be pushed forward, whereas SofM is just throwing his laners to the wind and continuing to deny gold from enemies.
Power farming his way to level 6 here as well, so he can get that first kick gank off. You can see Condi making his way towards the top side, looking for a Gromp beforehand, but just power farming at the moment as well, as the junglers are going to finally meet, even on levels this time, as there's the teleport actually from WE. They really want to be able to contest this, as SofM takes it away, safeguards his way out. It's now xiye caught a little bit. Frandre over the side as Tank is closing in. This is dangerous, though. Dredgeline flashed out of the way of there as the Never Move does fly down. The ultimate comes out at 957. Tank is going to go down very, very low, but xiye is going to be the first one to fall. First blood goes to the Lee Sin as Condi now off on the wrong side. Zero makes his way in as Condi gets kicked over and killed. The double kill comes in for SofM. This guy's Lee Sin looking pretty damn good.
And yes, it was played well by Tank to survive long enough, sidestepping some crucial CC before getting locked by Never Move. But big save was the fact that Jiezou showed up. That was a 4v5 that Team WE were not expecting.
Damn right.
So here's the Never Move. It initially gets locked up, but there we go. The Bard shows up and does quite significant amounts of damage and stalls long enough.
Oh my god, and Jiezou stopped Condi from being able to get any auto attacks onto Tank.
Yes. Saves his life, turns the fight.
Oh, jeez, that's
and again,
beautiful.
A 4v5 that Team WE weren't expecting.
That was wonderful. So Snake starting things off much better this time around. 957 still with a slight CS lead, but if we have a look at this, SofM's gone back and built a Tiamat. So that's a thing.
Gotta farm.
Yeah, I guess so. I would have thought that Warrior Enchantment probably would be a little bit better.
He's got Mobies too.
Jeez.
Talk about early game pressure. This guy's ready. He's level 6. Big power spike. Let's go.
Yeah, already got that level 6 by the time that fight finished. First Blood helping him out. Got him that kick. Managed to pick up the kill onto Condi. Now heading straight into his jungle. Condi now does have collateral damage. Sonic Wave not going to find it. SofM could probably steal this if he wants to. And Tank, of course, going to lend a hand here at the same time.
Gonna contest it.
Yeah, nice end of the line. Does a bit of damage to the Lee Sin, but he's not too worried.
And now Snake, so much more control of the map since SofM is strong. see where he's going to use his power. Again, has that Dragon Rage kick available to him again.
Yeah, and this tier is stacking up as well for tank in the mid lane. Almost has his Catalyst available. Condi, though, is still farming up quite nicely, even currently with SofM, as they're both going to be donating some blue buffs over to their respective mid laners. SofM a little bit faster now, though, as you can see.
There's a ping bottom as Frandre reset his position. He does have TP, and Mystic and Zero are very far forward and extended. There is no ward behind them simply because they've done a good job pinking the brush behind them. But I have a feeling that Snake are looking for a play on the map, especially because their jungler is so strong, so keep an eye on that.
Yeah, actually, Condi looking for him here as there's a Sonic Wave, lands. SofM not going to go over the Dragon Pit wall. It's the Mountain Drake not going to get looked at yet from either team. And you're right, with SofM this strong, WE have to be very careful in how they move.
He's such an explosive jungler that he plays very well with confidence and very well with lead. His issue is that he doesn't necessarily curb his aggression as well as he should when he is behind, so it's harder for him to get back in as consistently as, say, someone with experience like Dandy.
Yep.
So being 2-0 right now with his Moby's Tiamat, great place for Snake.
You can see able to add some pressure here to the top side of the map as Frandre is taking a bit of a wander. Condi looking for a gank on the bottom side, though, as there is nothing here for them to get, but 957 actually looking to teleport in behind. This is a brilliant play. Everyone was on the top side of the map. Jiezou now just going to discover exactly where 957 is. Everyone pressured out of the way, but it feels like they will be able to gain a lot of pressure here towards the bottom side. WE just making a bit of map play.
Yeah, and more importantly, the fact that they also have the dragon to play around is key here, because at best that means that Snake can trade tower for tower, but Team WE could get the superior objective unless SofM makes a play on this mid lane, which xiye smartly backs up.
Yeah. Not going to let him dive. You can see tower is going to be aggressed on here towards the top side of the map. SofM going to help out, landing some damage, but it is going to be a 1-for-1 trade if they do get it.
So the pivot here is that the creep wave has been built up and reinforcements are on the way from Snake. That Snake set up a wave where they could push through and look to contest second. So instead of pulling the trigger on Dragon, Team WE actually respond and send their duo top.
Well, they are going to get there in time, as you can see. Very deep roam up as Zero going to get caught out of position, just destroyed. SofM grabs his third kill of the game. 56-39 in CS as well. This guy's so far ahead. It is silly. xiye now with some time. He's going to be able to grab himself a Raptor. But still, too little, too late, just a little bit. WE. What is it with Karma's face-checking stuff?
They just go so fast.
Yeah. A little bit unfortunate. Did manage to get a ward in that brush, though, in the end. So that's good news.
Traded his life for it.
Tank.
Worth.
Yeah, Tank not quite with the Rod of Ages just yet. Looking to build that one up relatively soon. xiye already with his ticking over. He just went back and picked that one up. Also Null Magic Mantle and some boots as well, so confident at the moment.
Would still be on time for it, as we've now swapped sides. Looks like it's going to be a gentleman's agreement. Team WE do have the initial advantage, though, on getting the wave to the tower.
Yeah, and SofM looking to start off the Dragon.
Yeah, Snake have the advantage now that they're positioned better for the Dragon.
Very early smite here from SofM. So he's going to be able to battle this one down. Almost has his jungle item completed with that Tiamat already there. Snake getting double duty right now as the turret is going to fall down. We'll see whether WE decide to push continuously all the way through.
And that's the thing, because they're so slow from Snake on rotation, they haven't even taken the outer bottom tower yet, that Team WE actually have a massive lead in pushing through for this.
Yeah, and they are going to shield everyone up here as well. WE moving very quickly towards the inner turret. As you can see, Snake, 4 members strong, now over towards the bot side. This could just be a flat-out base race.
I think they're actually going to trade it and then rotate into the mid lane. Someone should respond, though, to make sure that they don't trade for the inhibitor, but Team WE have prepped their waves ahead of time in the mid lane as well. So, yeah, Snake, they're not going to continue to push through. Could be a superior advantage.
Oh my god, the Jhin coming in with the damage as well. Snake, he flashes, Tank in trouble. One more bolt will do it, but it's not quite enough, as there's the kickback onto xiye, and SofM not quite able to solidify that kill. Jiezou comes in, the exhaust goes down, nice shield, but it's not enough as Frandre picks up the mid laner. Snake turning up in the nick of time, and SofM, he just can't miss a Sonic Wave.
Telegraph from Team WE. They're prepping that wave for a long time. So Snake, instead of just giving away objectives for free, immediately rush off bottom.
Oh, SofM almost caught out Dredgeline. Not quite long enough from 957. His tank was looking for a flanking play as he teleported in. Now they're trying to grab this tower.
Yep, collapse and pivot power taking the objective in return. So great reactionary play from Snake.
And it looks like they've just got their act together for this game as well. Frosker and 5-0 in kills, 4-3 in turrets as well. WE really going to have to play damage control.
Dragon Rage kickback lands a long-range Sonic Wave. Xiye does a really cool thing where he swaps positions, making sure that the Lee Sin has come to him before burning his flash instead of pulling him around. Unfortunately, he goes down to Bard and Maokai as SofM continues his reign of terror on Lee Sin.
Yeah, dominance right now. WE trying to pick up the pieces. Still with decent CS scores across the board. You can see 40 up for Mystic on this Jhin. Now they're trying to get some of this standing gold back on the map. But Frandre, pretty big Maokai at the moment, standing underneath that turret.
And Snake have started to kind of reveal themselves as not necessarily playing to the ceiling of their mid laner, but playing to the ceiling of their jungler now that they have SofM versus ZZR.
Yeah.
What is with them and letter junglers? You know
SofM
who I miss?
as well.
Beast.
Yeah. And Baka, man.
No, too far.
I love Xerath. Big fan. I've always been a Xiaohu fan, of course. But you can see that's a serrated Dirk done for SofM, so he's just continuing down this damage route as 957 is going to react to the brunt of it. xiye going to teleport in. Actually going to complete the teleport here as well. So SofM can't continue. Try and smash down on this Nort.
Someone's going to take that big wave top. I thought it was going to be Mystic. I was going to say, all that teleport completion means is that Mystic's going to get more gold, but instead they're giving it to xiye, who reset his position on the map and it's taking it.
Yeah, we'll be able to make it up there. As Snake now with a little bit of spare time. We'll see whether they think about a Rift Herald or something like that.
So they do have a sizable gold lead right now, about 4K, 15 minutes. That's a big deal. Much better place than they were first game. That said, Team WE, super used to this.
Yeah, this is their bag. Generally, we said that we didn't really want them to go back to this sort of style, but it does show that they can still play this one out. 40 CS is the lead on Frandre, though. This tree is huge. It's going to be very hard for...
And this is why.
Yeah.
Team WE are really good at minimizing their losses. They're a very cautious team. They're a very aware team. So you see SofM, he sees where Team WE are. He knows that the Swain was in the top side, so he tries to set up a play to look for a dive. But Team WE are just so heads up.
Oh,
never overextending.
Well, xiye a little bit overextended now, but
He's
the bird
fine.
form is going to mean that, yeah, just nothing doing. As there's 957, came in through the backside as Jiezou is going to fall down immediately. Nice pick-off and turnaround here for WE.
Yeah, pivot on the reaction. Again, they don't overextend themselves. They minimize their losses. They're very good at slowing games down. Snake trying to force something, trying to put the pedal to the metal with the lead that they have, but not executing as cleanly as needed against this veteran Team WE squad.
Yeah, and I mean, that was close to a 4,000 gold lead. Now it's been brought back to about 2K. So Martin is continuing to try and farm his way back up to relevance. Does almost have his 2-item spike, but Mystic, he's at 163 CS. That's 50 ahead on the Jhin. We're going to continue picking up farm across the map.
Jhin, one of the few AD carries that can also do damage outside Ryze's threat range.
Yeah.
Big thing about Ryze is how much he denies or limits the AD carry pool because his range is about 600. There's only like 3 or 4 AD carries that have a plus 600 range.
One of them, of course, being Caitlyn.
Ashe, Tristana, Kog'Maw.
Varus.
Well, Varus with his Q, Kog'Maw with his W.
I think Varus actually does
I think
have
it's
about
at
a 650.
600. Is it 650?
Close to.
I don't play Varus.
I do, all the time. Love New Trinity Force Varus.
All you play is Mordekaiser.
It's the only champion I can win on. I play all sorts of things.
I don't
Condi.
play Varus. He's a mid laner. Dirty as your counter.
Hey man, if you're talking about 2v2s.
Done it.
Oh, Condi going to get caught out. There's
the
the
flash.
kick flash. As the exhaust is going to go down, Condi going to get destroyed. 20 seconds until the dragon. Nice setup.
No reason for Condi to be there. We talked about how good they are, how they don't overextend. Condi makes the mistake. Son of Baron loses it 10 seconds before Dragon.
Yeah, no teleports available here from WE either, as Tank and Frandre both have theirs, so they can just stay in these lanes. And as the dragon comes up, they'll just be able to react to it. Now Zero throws out a Mantrid Q, but they know that they cannot fight for this. Actually, they're just going for a bit of a siege.
Well, they can fall back to the dragon pretty much at any point that they want. It's more important that they have a window where they can siege on a tower.
Well, Curtain Call is going to fly through. Fair bit of damage down onto SofM, but this tower is just getting brute forced. That is going to go, and then immediately, Magical Journey back to the dragon. And despite the fact that Condi's up, I mean, they could potentially still fight for this. The Snake team are very strong.
Again, it's what Snake's composition is better at. They're better at 5v5 than they are at sieging, so they would rather siege when appropriate.
That is double Mountain Drake now done, and we know that Snake love to go for early Barons, and it is going to be up in under a minute. This turret not going to get taken either, as WE didn't commit to it. Like you said, playing very timid League of Legends right now. SofM looking to now try and steal away a blue buff. Birds are going to deal with it while he takes down the ward.
Didn't reset this time, so good news.
Definitely good news, saving them some time.
Okay, Team WE. If you're a Team WE fan, this is what you're looking for. You need Mystic to hit his power spike. He's only got, we're going to say 1.5 items to his name.
Yep.
So looking for that big Jhin late damage. We need xiye to become that unmovable tank and create space for Mystic. So also looking for a 3-item breaking point.
Mm-hmm.
Nautilus is fine, he's Nautilus. Low econ tank.
Yep. Just going to put on Titan's Wrath and run around and stun people.
Which means that they need to prioritize defensive vision, making sure that they don't fall to any flanking Frandre plays.
Or flanking tank plays.
And only siege when appropriate. They've actually put themselves, see, they're scared. They don't see SofM, he's standing off to the side. Because this is a big danger zone for Team WE. This is the big window where Frandre can look for the flank, where SofM can insect behind them.
Yeah, well, the kick is, of course, back up again as well. Is Cosmic Binding going to keep these minions away from the turret? Frandre comes in, smacks things out of the way. So WE now trying to get some vision around where the Baron is. They do have a couple of wards.
It's so much more important flanking vision. Not just Baron vision, because obviously you want to see your objectives, but flanking vision. They need to be able to see their sides, because if they want to play that far forward, they need to make sure that Elise and Maokai aren't behind them. So that is what you're looking for on the map. If they don't have that, they won't go forward.
At the moment, 957 just trying to pick up CS where he can. Still at about 40 CS behind. But thankfully has stagnated that one. SofM continuing to play aggressively. Now has himself some armor in the form of that chain vest. Otherwise, just a plethora of items.
The variety bucket.
Yeah.
No, he's got completed items.
Couple. As, of course, Tank now just able to clear things out. He went for a Void Staff as item number 2 as well. Now Frandre has found xiye. Never Move is going to come down. This is optimistic from the Maokai. The xiye, of course, not losing health as he just birds his way around.
Did lose mana, though.
True.
Obviously, Swain incredibly mana dependent. Needs to be able to stay in that bird form to become invincible. Snake now making a play towards the top side of the map.
xiye once again just auto-attacking the tree and doing no damage at all. 957 looking to pick up this wave after Martin has shoved it into him ever so nicely. The Nautilus, though, possibly going to get ganked here. xiye does have his teleport available. Is the dredge line going to be used?
Yeah, staying close to the wall to make sure that he gets an easy dredge line for max distance. But Snake finally chip away, drag Team WE around the map and manage to get a tower. More so zone them off the top side.
Yep, nice Never Move here from xiye as Frandre was trying to stop his back. Now you can see Deadly Flourish not going to come in. And Snake now just going to back away. They've managed to get a whole host of objectives. All of the inner turrets have now fallen down as well as the outer, so 6 turrets to 3 in advantage of Snake. The lead is still just under 5,000 gold, so WE's damage control is working out okay. They need to be able to create some pressure on this map because they just don't really have much.
I think they're fine as long as they don't give away a Baron. and they don't give away too many more dragons. And it is an Infernal Drake that's coming up in 2 minutes. We'll see if Team WE are confident enough to try to set up a trap for this.
SofM just built a Guardian Angel as well. So he's just going to continue to build damage now.
It gives him mostly the confidence that he can freely look towards that back line. Like, now that he has his xiye, it pretty much tells me that he's looking exclusively for the kick. He's not going to be afraid to trade 1-for-1 because he has the xiye.
Definitely not. Well, Martin continuing to play things slowly. Does have his 2 items. His cull completed as well. Building towards that more of Malmortius, item number 3, xiye. Has to be a little bit careful. He's got some friends around here. And the dragon is going to be up in a minute. Well, nicely done. Wolf Spirit is going to spot the members of Snake moving into the jungle. And xiye backs away accordingly. 957 getting some time here towards the top side. Up against Frandre. SofM just can't find any jungle camps. And Condi is back in base at the moment. So he's building up towards what looks like a black cleaver, possibly. Let's see what it is actually going to be. A Zero almost hit by that Q. Doesn't get tagged.
Team WE didn't pick up a lot of pink wards. They don't seem to be minding the dragon timer at all.
It's an Infernal Drake, though. They may need to fight for this one.
They're not setting up in a position for it. They've already lost so much positioning in terms of their vision on blue side, as well as giving away the blue buff. Again, this is something that we see Team WE do. Are they going to funnel into mid lane? This could be dangerous.
Well, there's the mantraed E as WE now looking to try and create a position for themselves, but Soul Vision now lies with Snake.
Getting confident. Okay, it's going to be a 5v5.
I can see Maokai looking for the teleport. Does have that home guard available.
I like the... They're balancing position between mid tower and the dragon. Here comes Frandre. Deep teleport on Wolf Pit. He's going to come up from behind them and Banana Brush.
Well, there it is. We'll see whether they actually turn onto him. xiye's going to get caught out of position as there's a massive knock-up with the Dredgeline. SofM getting focused out. Lots of damage as Frandre as well. Tanking up Mystic completely. Tempered Fate is going to get avoided as SofM not going to quite find it. Martin locks down the kill on 957 as now SofM still continuing the onslaught. xiye falling down. This Lee Sin is so damn good, but xiye is so hard to kill. We'll see whether he can actually do it as there it is. SofM with the execution is going to be able to lock that one down. Martin is the only one to fall. Now Snake are looking at Baron?
A lot of low health bars. They're not going to go towards the Baron. They're going to reset their position on the map, especially because Condi's still here. I want to showcase how SofM actually gets into this backline. He takes a ride on one of the members of Team WE. So he's going to connect to Sonic Wave. They're going to come to the side, and then he's going to immediately jump onto the back of Mystic. Okay, there's Sonic Wave. Oh, so it is on 957. Goes to the side, immediately goes to the ward with the safeguard, and right on Mystic's face, kicks him against the wall and deletes him from the team fight.
Yeah, flashes after him there as well.
Beautifully played. That said, still, considering the gold lead that Snake have, a very close fight because all the bars are so low, which just speaks to how strong xiye is on this Swain.
Yeah. Well, outer turret is going to fall down. Snake did get that third dragon of the game, 2 mountains and an Infernal Drake. This is going to be so hard for WE moving forward. Mystic almost has his third item, going towards what could be an Infinity Edge with that BF sword sitting there. 3 items on Jhin, very, very scary. Still has pretty huge CS lead.
Still
yeah?
only at a 5k gold lead, though, really.
Yeah.
It's because Condi traded the mid tower, so was an Infernal Drake for outer mid.
Of course, dragons are not giving any gold value either.
Well, invisible gold.
Yeah. So definitely giving value, especially when it's these ones, as siege power and just flat stats are picked up. Condi actually deciding to go for the Sterix Gauge. So noticing that SofM is doing a heck of a lot of damage. Doesn't want to get bursted out. I respect it.
Yeah, good medium ground for Graves. This guy, though, SofM on Lissandra.
Oh, so scary.
Pretty much putting Snake's previous blunders on his back, taking responsibility and stepping up massive in game 2. This is what we expect from this type of jungler. Very aggressive, very playmaking oriented. completely commanding of Snake's tempo and pace.
Can see WE not dead yet. Is Mystic very close to his Infinity Edge. Only about 1,400 gold. Snake setting up vision around the Baron area. They were very good at taking it down last game, despite the fact that they were falling behind. See whether they can continue to push this one forward. But this game's going to go late. It's just what WE are able to do.
WE need to be very careful playing towards the bottom side of the map, though. So Snake are using double teleport. Tank obviously has his TP, although Snake aren't pulling the trigger on it at all. 957 doesn't have teleport. They actually just straight have an advantage if they wanted to play across on the top side of the map. Again, I think it's the respect to xiye that he could stall long enough for Nautilus to get back in position on the Swain.
Yeah.
Even though he doesn't even... Okay, now he has his 3 items. That's the scary point, because he was just sitting on the components of the Hourglass.
I actually went back and spent about 1,500 gold there as well, so that's a big spike. Like you were talking about, does want those 3 items. It's fallen behind Tank just a little bit, who's also almost at his 4-item spike. That Seraph's Embrace, as well as that GA almost completed. Martin just hanging out, killing creeps. GA now, no teleport available like you were talking about before. This Tank is going to rocket up into this lane. SofM clearing out vision. Continuing to make the map dark for WE. Jiezou helping out there as well after his sweeper timed out.
But they have complete control over the Baron Pit.
Able to steal away blue buff here as well, because Martin is the one that actually takes that one down. Infinite Mystic shots.
Okay, Snake have all lanes pressured forward. Complete pink control over the Baron Pit. Team WE do have 2 blue trinkets. And yet, they continue to siege or attempt to play in the lanes. I'm a little bit confused.
Turtle.
If they make a pick, it'll all be worth it.
SofM has been commanding this whole game. 100% kill participation right now. Look at him to make the play for Snake as Martin goes back to base in full vision. Magical Journey. He's going to get members of Snake into the pit. But this is interesting.
Interesting. They didn't stagger the backs at all. Team WE are just going to walk into the pit area and clear out all of the vision that Snake have spent their money on. Oh, they're lucky that they didn't take the pink ward on the pit. That's like... This is like buying white shoes and immediately wearing them on a rainy day. Like rainy and muddy.
Wow, they've even missed that pink ward as well. Snake wander past it. Condi now over the top, looking to try and pick this one up. Does so as SofM thinking about trying to find something, as you can see WE so scared of SofM making a play. Continuing to clear out vision, Jiezou sweeps things out. And the Baron is started.
Here comes the teleport from xiye.
Yeah, they have a lot of vision making their way into the pit here as well, as now the Baron quite low. Zero caught out of position, but Condi wants to make his way over towards this Baron. It is taken down by Snake, but xiye already right inside the pit, has his Zhonyas as Condi fighting on the backside. SofM now as well, wants to create a good position for himself, but look at the Tempered Fate, singling out xiye, and now Condi gets tagged. SofM will be able to follow that one up, and this is just a massacre from Snake. Triple kill comes out as Frandre has locked down xiye as well. SofM continues to not be able to miss these abilities as Frandre is able to lock that one down. Mystic as well, just running for the hills as Snake push up with the Baron Pit, with the Baron damage, and are able to lock down this inhibitor in the mid lane.
Team WE completely blundered how they approached that Baron Pit. Yes, xiye is super tanky and powerful, but he rocked in on his own, and he didn't have anyone to do damage during the duration of his tankiness.
Yeah, and Snake actually looking to try and finish this game off as well, as Mystic has a lot of movement speed, but he's going the wrong direction. This Nexus is now going to be the focus, and Snake even out the series 1-1 with some pretty powerful Lee Sin mechanics coming out of SofM.
And we've had 2 games that were completely decided by early game proactive plays and junglers. Yes, SofM looked much more explosive than Condi did in game 1. Can't see that he's going to get the likes of Lee Sin again, or at least that Team WE will leave themselves as exposed in the composition